When it comes to school success, the most important ingredient is effective leadership. And while high-performing schools are the result of a team effort, a school can only reach its potential with a strong principal, someone who organizes, empowers, and inspires. While the traditional conception of a principal is one of middle manager, the principal's role is increasingly complex. Aside from basic administrative duties, including hiring teachers and staff, managing budgets and facilities, and communicating with parents and other stakeholders, he or she is expected to be an instructional leader, the person who is responsible for managing the curriculum and instruction that occurs within the school. In this way, the principal's role has evolved beyond manager to include evaluator, coach, and cheerleader. These expanded responsibilities, combined with increasing accountability pressure at the local, state, and national level, makes the principal's job simultaneously more critical and more challenging, particularly as we navigate sweeping social movement, economic turmoil, and public health emergencies. The principal's office has never been more important. Yet at this time where effective leadership is so desperately needed, our education system faces the immense challenge of ensuring that all schools, and particularly those serving large numbers of historically marginalized students, are led by high-quality principals. Consider the more than 9,000 principals that currently lead a public K-12 school in Texas. In a typical year, 1 in 5 will no longer be the principal in that same school next year. In 5 years, half of these principals will have left school leadership entirely. What's worse, these rates of turnover and attrition are substantially greater in our lowest performing schools. In short, the schools where we need leadership stability the most are precisely those that are the least likely to have it. Principal turnover harms school performance. In particular, student test scores decrease, and teachers are more likely to leave their positions. From a financial perspective, school districts are forced to spend additional money recruiting and developing new leaders. One recent estimate places the cost of preparing, hiring, and placing a single principal at $75,000. Even beyond these quantifiable effects, leadership churn undermines morale, creates instability and uncertainty within schools, and weakens connections with families and the broader community. Thus, a key issue in educational leadership and policy is how can we identify, develop, and retain our best school leaders. The evidence demonstrates that the status quo is untenable and new approaches are needed. Fortunately, researchers, including myself, are leveraging large-scale data sources, combined with sophisticated statistical methods, to understand why principals leave and what we might do about it. These efforts are increasingly conducted in collaboration with practitioners in the form of research practice partnerships, which place policy-relevant evidence directly into the hands of states and districts. Some new initiatives are showing promise in terms of reducing principal turnover and increasing measurable student outcomes. Districts are adopting grow your own leadership pipelines, which identify promising educators within a district and provide them with the training, mentoring, and financial support to become the next generation of principals. There is also recognition that principals need the same coaching and mentoring that they provide their teachers. When placed on an island, they can't do their jobs effectively, and burnout comes more quickly. Some districts are turning to the principal supervisor role as an important connection between school leadership and the district central office. This new role highlights the reality that even strong leaders need mentoring and opportunities for growth. Ultimately, the success of these new initiatives boils down to whether they help schools to fulfill their most important mission, which is to educate, empower, and inspire students. While the challenge of ensuring that all schools are led by effective principals remains difficult, an increased emphasis on evidence-based policy and decision-making promises to pay dividends.